carry the Publicity Secretary of the APC in Ekiti State, Comrade Segun Dipe. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's less than a year to the Ekiti State governorship election, and we can see that there is not yet a primary election, no declaration for campaign, even for the primary election. What's happening?
The INEC will have to determine the timetable. Until the timetable is rolled out, you'll be jumping the gun if you start those processes.
Comrade, a lot of other interested groups are saying there is already a campaign by the sitting governor that started a year in office.
Well, let me put it this way. The moment you complete an election process, automatically the next election process begins to start. I mean, there is never lull in a political environment. Activities will always be generated. So what they see, I would call it a pre-campaign or pre-election time activities. You can't have a quiet environment in a democratic setting. People will always aspire, people will always have a vision or put their minds or hearts on future. So we cannot say that there will be a clear-cut time when it will be totally stopped and when it will be totally commenced. However, if the INEC timetable is not there, what you see is desire or interest. You cannot go out and start campaigning or start saying vote for me or something like that.
But when you say bow, they can see bow until 2030 and so many endorsements talking about coming back in 2026. Are those not tantamount to campaign?
I can endorse somebody for 2030 election. I can endorse somebody for 2036 election. It doesn't mean that the election process has commenced. It is just my own view. I can say, hey, man, you look like a future governor. Let's start thinking about that. Oh, I think you did serve a second term. Let's start putting that into consideration. So all these endorsements are wish lists. All these endorsements are not tantamount to full electioneering process having commenced.
We are aware that IPAC has alleged that the sitting governor is campaigning. How do you receive that?
Well, I've not seen the sitting governor campaigning. If they have, they should let us know where and how he has been campaigning. If I invite the sitting governor to my house for a supper, or I invite him to a naming ceremony, or I invite him for an event, and I say, bow, you deserve a second term, that doesn't amount to campaign. It will always happen. Tinubu too, people are already banditing the idea of him coming up in 2027. Obi is also considering. There are mergers and acquisitions, let me even put it like that. In the political setting, it doesn't mean that INEC has flagged off a campaign or people have started campaigning. These activities, you will always see them in a political dispensation.
Isn't it getting too late for the INEC to, announce the takeoff of electioneering process?
No, there is a timetable. There is set time for it. As a matter of fact, before Ekiti election, there will be Anambra election. The tail end of this year, maybe in November, October, thereabout, there would be Anambra election before Ekiti election. And the Anambra election has yet to be flagged off, the campaign.
Even the primary election?
Yes, so we have to wait. We have to queue behind Anambra. And I believe, I'm not trying to spread any rumor, by May, which is next month, I believe that INEC will do something.
But we are aware that a group of people within the party, that's APC, really wants the sitting governor to return to be the consensus candidate, governorship candidate of the party in the coming election.
In fact, I'm one of them. And of course, if you look at political calculations, you will know that it's always good for a sitting governor to be presented for a second term if he has not run 2 terms. It's always good for a sitting governor to be presented than to allow some jostlers to come and disorient the party people or disorganize the party structure. If a governor is doing well, there's no reason you want to go and bring another person within your party. It's going to be a miscalculation, because what you are telling the society is that your party has failed during the first term, and you are now looking for somebody to succeed in the second term, and that is not a good calculation. Other parties, the rival parties, will feast on that and tell you that, you see, your first time you failed. But if your governor is doing well and you are projecting his activities very well, it is just good you allow the second term. Where you don't allow the second term, it sends a wrong signal within the party and among the people in the society. A case in time was that of Godwin Obaseki, who was in APC, and we have Nze Iyamu in PDP then. And somehow, due to some conflicts within the Edo APC political system, they said that Obaseki will not run second term. So what happened was that they now brought in the same Zeyamu who was in PDP then to replace Obaseki, who was in APC. And there was a swap of candidates. And lo and behold, Obaseki went to PDP to still win the election. He served his first term in APC, served his second term in PDP. So you can see that miscalculation. And I don't think Ekiti APC will want to have such a mistake made by us.
Now, talking about consensus, how much do you think this consensus is agreed with by the generality of the party members? We know of some power brokers within the party, but would you also say the same thing of the followership?
Well, let me say concerning our party constitution, APC party constitution, in it is clearly made known that a consensus is always preferred, because consensus unites the party more than party primaries. Where there's party primary, there's nobody out of ego. There's nobody who accepts that he has failed through party primary. And you hardly see people fail in party primary just taking it in a stride. It's either they go to another party to prove their mettle that I'm still a strong person, and with that they will go with their followers. So oftentimes it affects the activities of the party. It affects the coming together, the formidability of a party, when you have people jostling for the position that the Constitution ab initio has recognized for somebody, because Constitution recognizes the fact that a sitting governor can run second term. And our party constitution also embraces that. Our party constitution further embraces the fact that consensus is always preferred to throwing it up for everybody. There are ways consensus are done. Consensus in itself are also election in their own, because you have to go to different states, you have to go to different communities to make them reason why we should have this person for the second term. And that's why you have to make sure that you touch their lives one way or the other during your first term, so that during second term they can easily say that, having done this much, having represented our party this much, having benefited from your governance this much during the first term, we allow you to go for second term. So consensus is legitimate.
Comrade Dipe, how united would you say the APC in Ekiti State is today?
Well, maybe you are right. You are asking a wrong person, because as the publicist and the PRO of the party, I will always say we are united. And I can say that confidently right now, that we are very much united. However, among the 12 disciples, you will always see a Judas. You will always see somebody who will feel that maybe I can get a bigger cut from the pie. That one is natural. But when we talk about the majority, we believe that Bao has done a human's job. Bao has represented us well. And we believe that Governor Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji deserves a second term. That is the general feeling within the party.
Now, within the party, you have some who are insistent on contesting the primary election of the party, and yet there are powerful people within the party who say Bao should go. How does the party treat this?
I've not seen anybody who has been insistent. Rather, I would say maybe some people are aspiring.
Okay.
But if you say they are insistent, let me tell you, I can print a poster now and put it in my grandfather's place in Ekiti today that I want to go for governorship. But when the bell is rung and it's time to start the race, will I come out? Will I come out? Will I come and collect the form? Will I have that resources or the time or the confidence or the structure strong enough to run across the whole state? And I'm an ESCO member at the state level, where we have the rollout, will be the ones that they will come to. As I'm speaking, nobody has come to us. But if you ask me what our intention is, we think that we should state what we have. We should continue without interruption through the second term.
Engineer Kayode Ojo, one of your chieftains, expressed his interest, through a press release to contest the governorship primary of APC in Ekiti State. Are you aware of that?
He has never told me. He has never communicated to me. I've had several rumors. I heard of Prince Adeyeye, who later said
no,
he was not interested. So rumors will be there. It is pre-election activity. Rumors will come until anybody comes to the party to collect the form. Expression of interest first, then the form. We dare not start speculating from our end that somebody is contesting. And in Kayode Ojo, if he's coming out, he'll be coming out for the third time to contest, and it is constitutionally allowed. It is a legitimate right.
Third time?
Yes, he contested against Governor Fayemi in 2018. He contested in 2022 against Governor Oyebanji. So if he's coming out now, that will be the third time. And nobody has condemned him, and nobody has vitiated him. Nobody has said he has done anything wrong. But I am telling you that from our party, the thinking is that we should have a legitimate second term, if only to break the jinx in Ekiti. I'm speaking my mind, because we've not had any governor in Ekiti who had run a first and second term back to back. And of course, our party has handed the baton. We've broken that jinx of a party man handing over the baton to another baton man. So if we have broken that jinx, we will still break the next jinx, which is somebody running 2 terms back to back.
Could that be the reason for the unification of the past governors by the sitting governor, Governor Oyebanji?
Of course, if you've known Governor Oyebanji ab initio, you will realize that he's always somebody who's always promoting peace. He has always canvassed for unity. Even before he ever contested, there was no time he quarreled with any of these past governors. He had always been with them. I think the only governor he never actually served with was Governor Fayose. And the Governor Fayose attested to the fact that he had never had anything against him. So if he had been going to leaders, he had said it that all past governors, he wants them to be united for the progress, for the development of Ekiti. And if they now see that as a reason why they should support his second term, so be it. But there's no time he had gone to any governor and told them that he wanted a second term. They are the ones rather telling him that he deserves a second term. He had never told anybody that he wanted the second term.
Comrade Segun Dipe, critics of this government believe that performance of the government is below the allocation to the state that has been tripled since the coming of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government.
Well, yes, it's like the proverbial story of people who went to feel the elephant. It depends on the side he is feeling. If he thinks that the governor is not doing enough by making sure that he completed all the projects started by his predecessor, which was one of the things he promised to do. If he thinks that the roads, the interlands, the roads leading to various quarters communities within the town that we have been seeing in good state, if he feels that they are not good enough, if he thinks that the moribund Ikogosi, one spring that was brought up is not good enough, if he believes that the agriculture, that the youths are now being made to be their own boss through agriculture, and they've been, I think they declared a profit of 200 million after 1 year. If he thinks that is not good enough, if he thinks that the road project, I mean the bridge, is not desirable, if he thinks that the airport, which is now being praised by all and sundry across the nation, is not good enough, I cannot fault his view or his opinion. But from my position and the position of the majority people in Ekiti, Biodun Oyebanji is doing a yeoman's job. He deserves a second term. He's a very good governor. He's one of the governors that we can, in Nigeria, is the best governor. And that has been declared. If the Senate President has said it, if the Vice President has said it, if so many other governors have approved it, if he had been given gallants and awards for that, I think I am bought, and I believe, based on what I hear and see, I believe that he has done enough to deserve a second term, and he has done enough to be called the best governor in Nigeria.
With the allocation that has been tripled, do you see the justification in the state government still going for bond loans?
Well, it's good to always assume that allocations are tripled. But when we look at the exchange rate, when we look at what dollar could buy some 10 years ago and what dollar can buy this year, I cited an instance sometimes jocularly what 33,000 meant when converted to, that's the youth corps members allowance, what 33,000 could amount to when converted to dollar, and what 77,000 could amount to when converted to dollar. So if we talk about the allocation being tripled and we talk about salary being quadrupled, allocation was tripled, salary was quadrupled, and you still have to pay that salary from the allocation. I will say that yes, there is money, but the money is being put to good use. And when we look at values, we'll see how skyrocketed values have been. I still believe that no matter what anybody has or gets now, it is putting it to appropriate use that matters. It's not what I have, it's what I spend what I have on. And I dare say that that money is being put to appropriate use. I dare anybody to come up with statistics to say that he collected this amount, and when you put it, when you compared it to what he's doing, that he still have so much left that is being wasted on inanities. I dare anybody to say that. Each time they talk, I ask if the only thing he's doing is paying salaries. And we know what the salary is in terms of increment placed on it. I think when we talk about the allocation being shored up, I think that will make a mincemeat of that allocation. It is sure.
You justify the collection of loan by the government, even with the present allocation?
The same way I will justify or do otherwise about a collection of loan by America. They are the greatest debtors in the world. And in Nigeria, the greatest debtor state is Lagos State. So if you collect money, it's not what you collect, it's the use you put it to. And I think people should de-emphasize, it's when you are creditworthy that you can access loan. It is when I see, because any loan that is being assessed by any state government will have to be endorsed, will have to be signed, will have to be approved, guaranteed by the federal government. If they think you are going to put it to waste, I'm sure the federal government of today will not do that. And when you look at the way Lagos State is collecting more loans and putting it to use, we might as well say that any state that has access to loan and put it to good use is a very good state, it's a developing state. So Ekiti is one of the states that are getting that benefit, that are being appraised and appreciated as deserving of a loan for good ventures.
This government has been accused of frittering Ekiti resources by paying people who are even outside its party, members of the PDP, and paying past governors. And this is being seen as a strategy to silence them all.
What would you prefer? That those people should starve and die? Or that the governor should embrace them as his friends and take care of them? I would prefer the latter to the former. I don't have any issue about how you spend the rest, having satisfied my own need. The thing is he paying salary as I went due? When we talk about pensions and when we talk about the pensioners, are they laughing? Are they smiling? When we talk about the private sector, is he considering them? When we talk about other things that he should put money to good use on, is he doing them? If he's doing them, what he does with the other money or the leftover or what is left is not what we can start querying. Except we are saying that some aspects are being deprived at the expense of filtering, using your word, the money for. And I dare say, who is the opposition that is being funded? I can't see because for any opposition to be funded, you first be brought to government and you'll be put in a position that you can be useful to the society. Then you'll be paid. If that is what he's doing, it's fine. But if he has gone to an opposition's house and say, okay, I give you 10 billion, just go and spend it the way you like, that is filtering. I've not seen him doing that. And funny enough, I hardly see even Bao going to donate money at launching where things are being launched. I've not even heard of that. I've not heard that Bao donated 10 billion, 20 billion to a process or to launching or something. This same Bao they are talking about is still using the same cars that were left behind by Governor John Kayode Fayemi. He has not bought a new car for himself. At least he must love himself more than any other person. And I've not heard of him building a mansion somewhere, hiding somewhere some money somewhere. Will he love others more than himself? So if he's not wasting the money on his own luxury, how come we are saying that he's now wasting the money on others? Any money spent in Ekiti State and spent in developing Ekiti State and in the affairs of Ekiti State, I dare say is well spent.
The former governor of Ekiti State, Governor Ayo Fayose, is being seen as a tool by this government to destabilize the PDP in the state. To what extent do you see this true?
Let me put it in the reverse. This government is being seen as stabilizing Governor Ayo Fayose, and that's the truth. Because this man has said that I don't want to ridicule any past governor. I don't want to isolate or distance myself from any past governor. Whatever is going to take me, I'm going to be the friend of every past governor, and I'm going to be the friend of every KBAC in Ekiti State. Those were things he said ab initio before he ever mounted the saddle. So if Fayose found favor in his sight, you know Fayose, you know him. Give Fayose 1 naira, he will tell people that you have given him 1 million. If he likes the way your relationship is with him. If Fayose dares to have any quarrel with Bao tomorrow, you will see what he will come back to say again. So we enjoy it for as long as Governor Biodun Oyebanji is a friend to all past governors. We enjoy it because all these past governors have their own sympathetic people, have their own followers. So we cannot ask him to dissociate himself from any past governor. He didn't make Fayose a governor. Fayose was a two-time governor of this state. And he deserves to be recognized as such. So if a governor sitting to say, I want to recognize everybody who has served before me, lo and behold, are you saying that he's saying Fayose more than he's saying Asiwaju Segun? No. He's saying Asiwaju Segun, he's saying Fayose, he's saying Fayemi, he's saying Adebayo, he's saying all the, and whenever he has activities, they always come together. I can tell you, I know Asiwaju Segun that if he's not pleased with Bao, if Bao is not in good stead with him, you will not see him relating with him. So for Asiwaju Segun Oni to have adopted and endorsed Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji, that means he's also well pleased with him, the same way Fayose is well pleased with him. So he's touching the lives of every governor.
Do you see a primary election happening in the APC before the governorship election?
Consensus is a primary election. Anyhow you see, the constitution recognizes consensus, and if you talk about option A4, or you talk about so many people coming up and we start asking people to vote and things like that, I don't know. I don't want to preempt, but if you are asking me as a person, I will not encourage that in our party, because it brings more rancor and it brings more splintering groups, and it makes people to decamp more than having a consensus. We will have an understanding, we'll go to people, we will have, whether we like it or not. Governor Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji deserves a second term. So why do we want to create chaos within our party? Why do we want to cause a conflict so that other opposition parties will feast on? I don't think we want to do that, and I am not supporting that for our party.
In spite of the overwhelming endorsement of the governor in Ekiti State, it is reported that the governor is here to have the endorsement of the national leadership of the party.
If the national leadership of the party includes the vice president, if it includes the chairman of the party at the national level, if it includes the Senate president, and if it includes the president, I deliberately make that the last, then I think he has received their blessings. If you read through, if you go through the past writings on his relationship with them. During his birthday, I knew what the president said. When vice president was in various activities, I knew what he said. When the chairman of the party, at the national level, when he had opportunity to be in a function, I knew what he said. The Senate president was here during the EXU convocation recently, I knew what he said. The deputy Senate president, I knew what he said. And all the 3 senators from Ekiti, I know what their positions. All the members of the House of Rep, I know their position. All the members of the State House of Assembly, I know their position. All the executive chairmen in Ekiti State, I know their position. Politics is first and foremost local. If all these people are giving him overwhelming support and backed up by what the president, vice president, senate president, speaker of the House of Rep, and all these people who are political giants, if all these people are saying positive things, I think that is the support he needs. He doesn't need any other support better than that.
Comrade Segun Dipe, how good would you say the relationship between Governor Biodun Oyebanji and his predecessor?
Fantastic. You see, Governor John Ayo Fayose, who I served in his administration, is somebody who is not known for pretense. That I can say. He's a cool, calm fellow, but he's hot when he has to react. And you always see it each time he comes out to talk. He will talk. Even during the Buhari government that he said he was so close to, he took the Buhari government to court. He spoke vehemently about certain activities that he disagreed. He's not somebody who will pretend if he's not having a good relationship with Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji. There's no activity that Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji had that you will not, even the award as Silver Board, you see him there. Will he waste his time going to such places to do what? Let me use this. Will Wike have gone to any activity of Fubara? We always know that is not possible. So if somebody is coming for their intention to think that JKF and Bao should fight, I think he should wait for that. And on several occasions, they both come out to say there is no conflict between them. I anchored the December program that we had at Ishon, where Fayemi declared and said, I give you that opportunity, I give you that mantle to run the second term. He said it there. Will he be saying what he never meant? And if you know the relationship between Governor Oyebanji and Erelu BC Adeleye Fayemi, who is the wife of John Ayo Fayose, then you will agree with me that except Erelu doesn't want to be a friend or doesn't want to have peace in her home, that she will be carrying bow like that, like his son. And everybody knows that the love of a mother to a son is the same love that a Relu has for bow. Will she be doing that if the husband does not support it? And will Fayemi be saying that he's supporting Bao for second term if he never meant it? I think they are not flippant. They are not people who say things they don't mean. But if it's the imagination of some people, and if it gives them happiness, it gives them kick to be saying that these two people are fighting, we cannot stop them. But for all I know, there is peace in APC. The predecessor and the successor have this peace, the peace that surpasses any of that, any predecessor and successor in any state in Nigeria today.
The APC has threatened over time by Ganduje, especially, that the remaining PDP control states are still going to be taken over. And with what happened in Rivers, a lot of suspicion is going on that the APC government is actually working on its strategy. Do you agree with it?
Well, what would Ganduje, as the chairman of a party, have said? That we are going to lose some states to opposition. Of course, that is a statement expected of a chairman of a party. PDP is also threatening, using that word, that they will take the federal government and they will take all the states that are under APC. So those are political statements. Those are statements expected of people who are leaders. And when you look at what happened in the Rivers, I'd said it time and time again. If APC wanted to feast on it, we would have feasted on it. We would have allowed, or let me say it would have been allowed for the governor to be impeached. Knowing that the speaker, the current speaker or the speaker will take over, because if the governor is impeached, if the deputy governor is impeached, the speaker will take over. Knowing that the speaker, was an APC person, it would have been easy for the governor to be impeached. But that is not the intention. And if Ubara is given 6 months to go and resolve issues, and all members of House of Assembly who are APC members in themselves were asked also to go home and resolve issues with their governor, I think it's fair enough. I don't see that as trying to usurp or to seize that place by a hook or crook. I think that was the right step. That is the best thing a reasonable president could do with that situation. We knew what General Obasanjo did with Ekiti State. Even before the 6 months, he had already identified who he wanted to be. Initially, he wanted to impose some people. When it was not allowed, that's when he declared state of emergency. We knew that, and when you compare that with this one, you see that this one is polished, this one is well-intended, and this one is well-managed.
The Tinubu government is being accused of intolerance of opposition views, to the extent that it is felt that democracy is actually dying under his rule.
It's always funny when the opposition makes a statement and the party in government responds and they see that as intolerance. The only thing you can say is that when the opposition has made a statement, the party in government should keep quiet. No. This is political error, and we know that the statements they are making, they are distorting facts, have truth and blatant lies. So it's always normal to come in also and correct that impression. And of course, people will speak for Tinubu, and Tinubu himself is expected to speak for himself. It doesn't mean that if there is anything to be corrected, he won't correct it. But to expect us to keep quiet will be telling us to go and hide or to chicken out of such a conflict being created by the opposition. If the opposition has said something in Ekiti, I will definitely respond. And that doesn't mean that we are threatening or we don't want them to be. We must respond. And if government has come out to say this is why we did what we did, it doesn't mean that they are threatening opposition. And if opposition is saying we are going to do this, and we are telling you that you cannot do it, or you are wrong to have read the thing, you have read the situation wrongly, I don't see that as a threat. We know what politics is in other parts of Africa. I cannot, I have not seen where Tinubu locked an opposition and put an opposition in detention because he has said something wrongly. Even if he has said something satanic or something very, very bad concerning him and concerning government. Lara is befriending them. And people are also saying again that he's cutting the PDP people. I mean,
for the destruction of the PDP.
Oh, what would
not for the strengthening of the
what
PDP.
A political party which is rival, that the rival continues to go down, your party continues to wax wrong. There's nobody that has been forced to join APC. In fact, people are wishing and are coming to APC. They want to join us. And when you look at when PDP was in power, was that what APC was doing or ACN? No, we are a principled party. And when anybody is coming, we know that when you take away from the camp of the opposition, you are diminishing them. It is normal. It's a political game. It's a political calculation. At the end of the day, politics is about Game of the Thrones. You always see people wanting to aspire to be something, and they always want to go to where they think they can get to that, they can have their aspiration met. So we welcome anybody any day jumping the ship of PDP or any other party for APC. Of course, we saw Rufai saying that he left our party for other party, and he threatened that so many people will follow him. We are still waiting to see the list of those who are following or who followed him.
How do you see the Natasha case?
Natasha case is a normal case that will come and go. That's the way I see it. It was not the Senate, the House did not suspend him because he raised the issue of sexual harassment. I think at times you can raise a matter and raise it in a polite way, in a decent manner. I think he committed some other offenses within the House. I mean, he was invited to face the panel, and the way she conducted herself, I think it was for misconduct that she was suspended. It has nothing to do. The sexual harassment matter, I guess, is in court, and I guess there are other ways to fight sexual harassment matter. But lo and behold, I don't want to preempt the final something, but in that manner, in that type of situation, if you strongly allege, you must prove, and don't prove in a sentimental way. Don't take your case to the public court. Don't try to judge anybody in a public court. Let the law take its course. Let's see the end of it. Until we see the end of it, it's going to be assumption and presumptions. Oh, this happened, this and she was releasing her facts in trickles. Today she will come up with this, tomorrow she will come up with that, and it started becoming a funny thing. I think we should allow it to get to the very end before we can say who is right or who was wrong.
We were speaking with the Publicity Secretary of the APC in Ekiti State, Comrade Segun Dipe. Thank you for coming, sir.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
People of the Fountain.